You are a hypocrite. Yes, you, the person engaging with this right now. In fact, you are likely the most abusive person you know. You pride yourself on being empathetic, don't you? You forgive your friends when they mess up. You comfort strangers. You give people second, third, and fourth chances. You are an absolute angel to the rest of the world, but the moment you make a tiny mistake, the moment you look in the mirror on a bad day, you tear yourself to shreds. You call yourself a failure, an idiot, completely worthless. If you spoke to your friends the exact same way you speak to yourself inside your own head, you wouldn't have any left. They will cut you off for being incredibly toxic. So why is it that we hold so much grace, love, and understanding for random strangers, but we hold nothing but pure, unadulterated venom for ourselves? Let's look at a thought experiment to prove just how deep this bias runs. In 2013, researchers conducted an incredibly sneaky study. They asked people to listen to a series of voice recordings and rate how attractive and pleasant the voices sounded. But there was a catch. Unbeknownst to the participants, the researchers had secretly mixed each person's own voice into the playlist they were judging. The results were staggering. When people didn't realize they were listening to themselves, they consistently rated their own voices significantly higher than the rest. They actually liked themselves until the moment they knew it was them. Your hatred for yourself isn't based on objective reality. It's a label you actively apply. You don't naturally reject yourself. You have trained yourself to do it. The self-loathing only appears when the spotlight hits you. But why? Why are we wired to be our own worst enemies? To answer that, we have to look at how human beings process reality. Imagine two groups of people. Group A just won the lottery. Group B suffered a tragic accident, leaving them paralyzed. If you measure their happiness a year later, something bizarre happens. The lottery winners, they aren't significantly happier than the average person. The thrill of the money fades. Good experiences evaporate quickly, a psychological trap known as the hedonic treadmill. But the accident victims, while they do eventually adapt to their new normal, the psychological impact of the negative event lingers far longer and cuts significantly deeper. What this reveals is a dark truth about the human mind. Bad experiences weigh 1,000 times more than good ones. A compliment slips through your fingers like sand, but a single insult will set up camp in your brain and haunt you at 3 in the morning for the next 10 years. You can achieve 5 incredible things in a week, but you will only obsess over the one email you sent with a typo. You might think this makes you broken. You're not. You are just a victim of your own evolutionary success. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, your ancestors were just trying not to get eaten. In the wild, optimism gets you killed. If an early human ignored a rustling bush because they assumed it was just the wind and it turned out to be a predator, they died. If they missed an opportunity to eat a delicious berry, they just went a little hungry. Survival demanded that the brain prioritize negative threats over positive opportunities. We evolved to be incredibly sensitive to danger, and as humans, our greatest survival tool wasn't sharp teeth or thick skin, it was each other. We survived in groups. To be rejected by your tribe meant isolation, starvation, and death. So your brain developed a terrifying defense mechanism. It realized that to avoid being rejected by the group, it needed to hyperanalyze your every flaw before anyone else could. Your self-hatred is actually your brain's desperate, outdated attempt to keep you safe. It criticizes your body, your awkward jokes, and your career progress because it is terrified that if you aren't perfect, the tribe will throw you out to the wolves. But evolution is only half of the crime scene. The other half is the world you grew up in. We live in hyper-individualistic societies that feed off your insecurities. From the moment you were old enough to understand words, you were taught a very dangerous lie, that your value is not inherent. You were taught that love, warmth, and support are conditional. You only get the gold star if you get the A+. You only get respect if you look a certain way, make a certain amount of money, and project a flawless image. Psychologists call this conditional positive regard. So where does that leave us? We are carrying around a brain that is evolutionarily rigged to focus on the negative, living in a society that profits off our feelings of inadequacy, trapped in a fractured identity. How do you escape a prison that is built inside your own mind? The answer is so simple it feels like a trick. You don't need to completely rebuild yourself. You don't need a massive paradigm shift or a mystical state of self-love. You just need to weaponize your own hypocrisy. Remember the beginning, how you are an absolute angel to everyone else, how you forgive your friends, comfort strangers, and offer endless grace to the people around you. You already know how to be kind. You already have the exact blueprint for unconditional love. You just have the wrong target. The next time you make a mistake, the next time you look in the mirror, and your brain prepares to launch a nuclear assault on your self-esteem, I want you to pause. Imagine it's not you. Imagine it's a friend coming to you with the exact same flaw, the exact same mistake, the exact same fear. What would you say to them? You wouldn't tell them they are worthless. You would tell them they are human. The standards you have been holding yourself to were never realistic to begin with. The constant criticism was never the objective truth. It was just a frightened, ancient part of your brain trying to protect you. The walls you've built to punish yourself don't need to be violently torn down. You just need to look at them, realize they no longer serve a purpose, and simply step outside. You have spent your entire life being the bigger person for everyone else. It's about time you started being the bigger person for yourself.